When I participated in Birthright Israel, one of our trip destinations that really resonated with me a lot was when we visited Kineret. I thought I knew about Israel. I thought that there were some cities and towns sprinkled about here and there. You have Jerusalem, you have Tel Aviv, you have tons of desert in the south with the Negev, some in the north, and that's really much it. But when we got to Kineret, I saw a landscape that was unlike anything that I had expected in the Middle East, let alone Israel. We saw lush gardens, we saw orange groves, we saw really a landscape similar to what I'd seen in Europe almost when I visited Spain. But then learning the history of the area, that this was the area where the first kibbutzim were founded, Degania, among others. We really were able to learn through the landscape at Kineret just what the first settlers of the Yishuv, the first waves of Aliyah, were up against. Here you have young idealistic Jews coming from Poland or Russia or Lithuania or Ukraine or some other place in Europe that was the exact opposite of anything they had seen before. And they come to Eretz Yisrael and they are draining malarial swamps and they're doing backbreaking labor and they're learning on the fly how to do agriculture and all of these things in order to make the desert bloom and really embrace the dream of Zionism. We were really able to see history through landscape. It was absolutely incredible. It was beautiful. And what I found that in addition to learning the history of the earliest settlers was that everything that I thought I knew about Israel was going to be challenged at one point or another. And when we travel or when we visit a place, it's important to remember that while we may have preconceived notions, they are very often going to be challenged. And we're going to be faced with something that we didn't think we would encounter. And while it's important to realize that preconceived notions are good, it shows that we know something about what we're seeing. But when it comes to Israel, often what we expect is not what we get in our experiences, which I think really speaks to the diversity of Israel in terms of landscape, in terms of history, in terms of culture. My trip to Kineret really had a lasting influence on me, probably more than any other part of my trip except for Jerusalem. It was wonderful, and I hope to visit again sometime soon.